You know those relationships you just can't quit? The ones that bounce between love and, well, total fury. Now imagine that, but between three of the world's most powerful countries, playing out for over 1,000 years. Today, we're diving deep into the messy, complicated love-hate triangle between Korea, China, and Japan. And to really get our heads around this, there's a Korean word we need to know: a-jing. It literally smashes together A for love and jing for hate. It describes a bond where those two feelings are just completely inseparable. This isn't your average rivalry. It's a connection that's way too intense for any kind of middle ground.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? In this kind of relationship, hate isn't the opposite of love, it's actually proof that you still care. A lot. The real end, the real death of a relationship, is when you just don't care at all. Indifference. And for these three, things have never, ever been indifferent.
To see why, we've got to turn back the clock, way back, because this whole story starts thousands of years ago, with a power dynamic that set the stage for everything to come.
Okay, so for most of history, the East Asian world basically revolved around China. This was the Sino-centric order. China was the sun, the cultural and political heavyweight, and countries like Korea were insiders, part of this big, complex system. But Japan was always the outsider. Separated by the sea, it never fully joined the club. In fact, it often challenged it. And right there, you have the fundamental tension that defined them for centuries: two insiders and one very powerful outsider.
And then, a little over a century ago, that ancient balance of power didn't just get challenged, it was absolutely blown to pieces.
So how did it all fall apart? Well, Japan, the historical outsider, saw its chance. It used its island geography to its advantage, rapidly modernizing, adopting Western technology, and building a powerful military. And then it set out to create its own empire, flipping the old order on its head. This led to the colonization of Korea and a brutal invasion of China, which completely shattered that 1,000-year-old world. The end result? A devastating war that left the entire region in ruins and, ironically, handed global dominance over to the West.
But from those ashes, all three nations pulled off stunning economic miracles. And now, they're not on the sidelines anymore. They've become global powerhouses, and they find themselves right at the heart of a brand new global power struggle, each with its own unique, modern identity.
Now, this is really fascinating. You can learn a lot about a country by how people pay for things. Think about it. In Japan, cash is still king, which kind of hints at a cautious society, one that doesn't fully trust big government or financial systems. In China, everything is a QR code, which reflects a society that's totally intertwined with and watched by a massive central state. And then you have South Korea, where the credit card rules. It points to a culture that's all about speed, risk, and using debt to get ahead. Three totally different mindsets. And these three very different nations are now center stage for the main event of the 21st century, the great power competition between the United States and a rising China. The entire world's center of gravity has shifted right to their doorstep. And this brings us to the most critical point of all. This ancient, complicated love-hate relationship is no longer just some regional drama. It's about to decide the future of the entire world.
So, the billion-dollar question is this. In this massive global showdown, what's really going to be the deciding factor? Is it going to be money, military strength, tech?
Well, the source material for this explainer offers a really powerful and kind of surprising answer. It's a metaphor, the sight on the rifle.
Okay, so let's break this down, because it's a brilliant way to look at it. The rifle is the US-China conflict itself. It's the weapon of global power. But a rifle's useless if you can't aim it. The front sight, or ganyamso in Korean, is the love-hate triangle of Korea, China, and Japan. How these three countries align is what will ultimately aim that weapon. And in that delicate balancing act, South Korea holds the deciding vote.
To put it as bluntly as possible, who leads the world in the coming decades won't be decided in Washington or Beijing alone. It's going to be determined by the messy, centuries-old dance of a-jing happening between these three neighbors.
Which leaves us with one last, massive question. The entire weight of global history now rests on this ancient, fiery, and totally unpredictable relationship. In a high-stakes game for the future of the 21st century, is that critical casting vote going to be used wisely?